You've heard of the saying, money changes people. And then there's this argument to that where it says, money does not change people, it only exposes them. I think both can be true in a positive way, but also sometimes in a negative way. However, I would like to add to the statement that having more money can also change or expose the people around you. I wished I knew this before coming to the US. I'm sure a lot of immigrants and also overseas Filipino workers can relate to this. Have you had a relative or a friend randomly message you, kamusta, or how are you, only to suddenly ask you for money? Or they want to borrow money but don't pay back? Sometimes you get those from people you're not even close with. Then eventually you develop some kind of anxiety whenever you see new messages on your social media. Now, some of them are legit asking for help. Life is not easy in third world countries. I've been there. We've helped who we could help the best we can. But there are those that won't benefit from receiving money, especially if you know they're only going to use it for their vices, or if you know that this person have history of mismanaging money, like when Dave Ramsey said to make sure you're not giving a drunk a drink or enable irresponsible spending. Anyway, this happened to me and my husband every once in a while, and it's still happening. When you say yes and give them what they want, everyone's happy, sure. The problem comes when you say no, give them less than what they asked for, or provide what they wanted, but not according to their timeline. And then they make you feel guilty, get mad at you, disown you, stop talking to you, unfriend you. You discover that some people in your life feel entitled to your hard-earned money. You find that there are people in your life that are not happy for your successes. You post vacation pictures on social media, and then someone will say, you don't have the right to go on vacation while we over here are struggling. It hurts, especially when all of this toxicity is coming from those you consider your friends. And it can come also from people you least expect to do that to you. But there's one thing I learned from a patient I treated for a joint replacement. She's in her 70s, but still works. And she shared how she grew up poor and now owns a number of hotels across the US. I'll never forget what she taught me. She said, when you get an upgrade in life, whether it's more money, a new job, a degree, a promotion, a new business, you're going to outgrow some people in your life. And a lot of times you have to, and that's okay. In our conversation, she further elaborated that it doesn't necessarily mean you have to cut ties with everyone, but your relationship with certain people will change and you'll have to set healthy boundaries. What would have been different had I known this early on before leaving my home country? Maybe I could have been more prepared emotionally, but more importantly, I would have learned to respond to these toxic behaviors from a place of love and understanding, not from anger and annoyance. Sometimes when you dig deeper into why some people suddenly change how they treat you or why they're behaving that way, you discover that there is some unmet need that is not necessarily money. A lot of times it's also a result of negative culture and just bad traditions in my home country, like when you see someone get ahead in life and there can be a desire to take away some of what they have so they don't seem too unreachable to you. Setting appropriate boundaries with family and friends can often be challenging, and it will hurt. Most of the time, they're not going to be happy about it. And at the end of the day, though, their reaction is not your responsibility. It is their choice, but you can choose not to give in to the negativity. Eventually, some of them will come to understand, and your relationships will improve. And sometimes for certain people, patience is absolutely necessary. And to be honest, there have been times when I didn't respond well and said things I wasn't proud of, often out of shock at the actions or words of someone that I care about. But then again, it is important to accept that people can make mistakes too, just as I do. Well, despite of all these regrets, should-haves, could-haves, would-haves, there's no use to beating my past self up for past mistakes. While we all try to avoid making mistakes, there are some things in life you have to experience firsthand, and that's how we learn. Besides, I know I only did the best I could with the knowledge I had at the time.